Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Marianne and you're watching Marianne's Mystic Mentions. Welcome to your first half of October readings and your Tarot, Oracle, and Love Connection messages and guidance. I'm super grateful to be here with you. It is, well, I'm recording these at the latter part of September. So we are officially in Mercury retrograde in the sign of Libra. We are and have been in the Sun season of Libra. Happy birthday, Libras that might be cross-watching for Sagittarians, which, by the way, for the featured reading I had for Libra, Sagittarius was the highlighted. So just putting it out there. And ironically, today's beautiful featured sign is the incredibly powerful, optimistic, Jupiter-ruled, freedom-seeking, adventurous, truth-seeking sign of Sagittarius. I love you, a fire element. Powered up, strength, determination, will, right? Just energy. I mean, most and every Sagittarius that I've come across in my lifetime, and I've known a few now, they do love exercise. They love releasing a lot of their pent-up energies because they have a lot that, they are born with as a fire sign. And they just enjoy it. They tend to excel in that kind of thing because it feels good to their body. It helps to regulate, the energies, which we all need to do, especially now. I recommend highly for all of the people watching my readings. During a retrograde time, it is a time to relax and let go a little bit, and a lot of people think, oh, I'm not ready to do that so much. And that's okay. I'm just giving you a little bit of love and tips for those that maybe not even had heard about a Mercury retrograde. Mercury is the fastest planet. Mercury rules moving parts and such as the mind, right? Constantly thinking and inventing and ideas and growth and stimulation and such. Transportation, wheels, things that move. Certainly technology, anything electrical. Very affected, and sometimes minimally and sometimes in big ways through the Mercury retrograde, because it slows things down. It slows down the communication. A little disclaimer, I'm usually stuttering way more during the retrogrades than normal. So please bear with me and we'll get through this. But yes, Sagittarius, all in all, I mean, you tend to just brush things off if they ever get too intense and for too long a period of time. And yes, you have your ups and downs, but I don't know, you're pretty darn optimistic, which I think carries this kind of magical dust around you and allows you to expand your mind and your thoughts into places that are better for you. You love higher learning. You love education and taboo subjects a lot of times. You're a philosopher. So I'm going to pick your highlighted connection right off the bat, which is spiritly guided. It could be a person. It could be the energy of this other sign or connection you're with and you're very familiar with. Maybe one coming through. I don't know, but it's something important for you to perhaps keep an eye on. And then I read your 4 major categories and your oracle and your divinations for all of your connections, in addition to this highlight one, okay? So I keep putting it from here to there. Asking Spirit right in front of you, it's real, it's fresh for the messages that are important for you to hear for the first half of October with this beautiful highlighted relationship and all your relationships. Ah, that just plump fell right down there on it, didn't it? And that's Cancer. Well, when I'm recording this, the moon went into Cancer, so that's kind of cool, right? But also, there's a stigma about the two elements of water and fire. I mean, it's intense. You take, elementary biology, right? And you put water on the stove and you get the fire under there in the heat. It's going to steam and it's going to boil. And you get that with this. You've got the emotional sensitivity of a Cancer. Like, it's just so evident. Very nurturing, caring, soft, very sentimental, very moody at times. I mean, they're ruled by the moon. The moon has the different phases. We have different phases in our life. The moon controls the tide, and the water in us is affected by that. It's just a fact. And that's no different for the beautiful water sign of Cancer. And the thing about Cancer too is they just have this enormous propensity to be able to to feel other people's energies, to understand and to psychically know, what's right, what's not. It's this inner compass, their intuition is dead on a lot of times. When you have a Cancer say to you, that doesn't feel right, take heed, okay? So over and all, the difference is this is a very commonality and attraction between fire. I mean, the opposition attracts, the tension is kind of alluring for a lot of people. It is. You don't want a mundane relationship. You want something kind of spicy. And you get that, and it doesn't have to be really dramatic. I mean, it can be, but I mean, it's relative to each. So much involved there, but just as a general, relationship aspect between the two of you, there's a draw. There really is. And of course, Sagittarian loves the sensitivity, and perhaps you as a Sagittarian have water in your chart, so you're going to be even more drawn to this kind of energy, okay? And you do have a heart, we all do, and although you're fired and you're usually very, active and, leader type of quality, and you got to be in charge, you got to be, you got to keep it together and all that, there's great compassion in your heart. You're a loving, caring friend, father, sister, brother, whatever, people love you for so many reasons, Sagittarius, myself included. So yes, and there's the cardinal aspect of Capricorn that rule, that's the modality, you're immutable. Cardinal being the initiative, usually of the 4 different cardinal signs initiate a season. So they start the beginning of that season, and the summer is the season that Cancer initiates. So that's the brightness and the warmth, the water, going to the sea and getting healed and helping others and keeping busy, wanting to be very, very nurturing to those that we love is a very key component, family-oriented aspect of Cancers, either gender. So I like this a lot. It looks and feels right off the bat before I do the reading that there's some real compassionate, loving, and important connections between the two of you. And it could be it happened during the sign or time of summer. Maybe, as I said, because of retrograde, we were full tilt in Libra retrograde through the 18th of October. It then goes into Scorpio, so there's some water elements as well as Scorpio. Venus is in Scorpio now, so that's the fellow water sign, and Venus is ruled by Venus. It's I'm sorry, what I'm wanting to say is Venus is the ruling planet of Libra, and it's in Scorpio right now, and so there's a very large sense of love and balance and relationships and compromise and emotion, and love and fulfillment and creativity if it's not through a specific love of a relationship. I mean, the love of life, the love of your passion, your ideas, your inspirations are key in this time. And with the retrograde, it gives us more time for introspection and really thinking about what we want to do and how we want to do it, and the fine detail and reviewing and revisiting and all the re's that come with the retrograde, so that we can bring it forth, certainly even with the starting aspect of the new moon in Libra on the 6th of October for everybody. And air is extremely conducive for you, Sagittarius, so you definitely have some new ideas. You point that arrow, you're the archer, you're the half man, half horse. You have some new information and new ideas up your sleeve. There's transformation coming, maybe in a relationship, maybe in your own personal life, work life, partnership and work, but it's coming. And we had a couple of beautiful eclipses that are still happening and starting to diminish their information. That happened in June and July in your sign and Gemini. Your polar opposite, but air, information, ideas, confirmation, study, learning, improving, evolving, just changes. It's so evident, and it's happening in the world. So you're right there in that. You're feeling it. And so is Cancer. So the 4 categories really kind of answers questions of all sorts. So it's definitely for this highlighted connection for all the Sagittarius. If you're not feeling anything right now with the Cancer, give it some time. I mean, there's no linear time when it comes to the readings and spirituality, but the messages can last, or they can be, you know, something you've already had happen sometimes. So also I recommend you watch your moon, rising, and Venus placements for even more depth and understanding of you, because you're way more than just your sun sign. But the 4 categories, the first category is the overall energy bringing you to the reading. You know, what's happening at this point in time? What are you feeling strongly about right now, Sagittarius? And your first card, and by the way, I'm using this incredible new deck, and I absolutely love it. It is called the Hush Tarot. It's got beautiful illustrations. It has a depth to it that's becoming more evident the more I use it, and I feel it as I'm using it. And I'm getting a lot of repeat cards, this one in particular, and always in this position, which is very interesting to me. However, what I'm going to say about this deck as well is it immerses and combines our spiritual nature as human beings, you know, spirits in a human body, along with nature and animal spirits. So it's phenomenally beautiful, and it's perfect for fall, and all the colors seem to take on the mutes and the modes and shades of fall. But your first card entering into the first half of the month of October, and it makes sense so much with the retrograde, is the 3 of Hearts in reverse. I'm sorry, the 3 of Swords. And the reason I said hearts is because generally the Rider-Waite-Smith deck has a big heart that's been stabbed with 3 swords, okay? I mean, it's not easy to see, right? And it obviously, you don't have to be a scholar or a major tarot reader to understand that there's been pain inflicted and sorrow and loss and the things that happen in our life that we don't particularly care for, but they happen nonetheless. The most important part to remember about the swords is it is the air element. It is about our mind. Many times the pain, the suffering, the hurts are created within our mind. It doesn't necessarily even have to do anything with our physical being, but yet when our mind is upset, or it's confused, or it's frustrated and it worries, it absolutely does affect our body. That's just a absolute truth, right? And we all can experience that in some way or another, particularly in this last year and a half. The other part that I want to say about the 3 of Swords is that even in particular, especially in your situation, it's already occurred. The swords are already in there. The conversation has been said. It's been painful. It hurt. The loss has been there. The loss of money. I never negate money in equation to the swords, because they tend to be representing institutions, you know, higher learning, educating ourselves so that we are in positions of, you know, institutional type of work. For example, doctors, lawyers, fairness, justice, finances, you know, all those things come into play with the swords. And the reality is that it not only already happened, but when it's reversed, and this is a far easier card to be able to take in for the 3 of Swords, it is actually something you're already healing from in the start, and maybe prior, of course. Now, I mentioned earlier that you, Sagittarius, you do feel pain just like anybody else does, but you take it to a point and then you say, okay, I cannot and will not let my life be identified with this pain. I know that things will get better. This is the optimistic part of you, and that Jupiter aspect that just believes in the truth of it, and the reality that time does heal wounds. Time is essential in so many things, and a very important component in our lives. Timing is everything. So you've already well on your way to recovery, and I'm so grateful to see this for all of the readings this first half of the month that have gotten this, because there's been at least 4, possibly more, and for the first position, I believe. So, or maybe the one that's the second, which is the possible blessings or obstacles. Point in case is you're well on your way to a much better frame of mind, emotional and physically, okay? It could have been that you were ill and that you had experienced something that was really unfortunate. You're well on the way to recovery. You're healing, and it's a super healing month. The new moon in Pisces last month was just so incredibly healing, and filled with opportunities for advancement in your mind of creativity and, you know, exploration, which is something you absolutely love, right, Sagittarius? Nothing stops you from seeking another opportunity or idea, or, you know, a way to better yourself. You know, this is who you are. Mutable, just open to so many things. Travel, you got to travel. You know, all walks of life you open up to, and you can relate to. You're accepting of. No judgment, nothing. You're just a wonderful, you know, person in that regard. So the higher element of energy with Sagittarius. Of course, there's, you know, individual nature versus nurture, but that's not what I speak of in my channel. So that is the first element. That is the first message coming through. And the second is the possible blessings or obstacles, as I mentioned. So you have the King of Cups. Well, there's that Cancer, isn't it? And king could be king. It could be a male. It could be a female. I don't, you know, associate gender. But what I will tell you is the difference between the two is the masculine versus the feminine. And we have both in all of us. And that's a really beautiful point, because in Libra season, the energies that is going to be exuded to all of us is absolutely about relationships, absolutely about balance and keeping the balance in all aspects of our life, absolutely about the feminine versus masculine equality. Now, the air element is a very masculine, it's just known as the masculine energy, okay? And that's what Libra is. However, being ruled by Venus is the most feminine energy, okay? I mean, Venus is one of the few planets that represent the ultimate in femininity, you know? The mothering, the intuit, all of those things we associate with femininity, which once again we all have. And finding that balance and, you know, being in touch with both is the ultimate, and something I think a lot of us strive for. So the male is simply saying that there is this incredible offer and maturity of I want to say leaning more towards the masculine energy, though, for some reason, and I normally don't. There's an offer of love, there's a maturity, there's a sense of well-being and acceptance of our emotions, being able to be vulnerable, being able to say and speak up and say, I love you, I want this, I want to be a part of your life. I want to create something with you. If it's not romantic love, I want to share that. I am very, very giving and very caring, and I'm a lovable spirit, and I want to absolutely be that in your life. Wow. You know, that is amazing and beautiful. And I think a lot of us, myself included, have always wished for that knight in shining armor that would just absolutely come out and just understand me and my spirit, and doesn't matter about the physical, because everything changes, right? That it would not be based on that, but absolute energetic, you know, spirit to spirit acceptance and maturity in that, you know. And that's what I see here. So it's gone from a healing of the lack thereof mentality or feeling, you know, illness, loss, all the things I mentioned, to this abundance of absolute love, pure, authentic, you know, authentic love. So that's a blessing. Perhaps it's within yourself. Maybe you're really realizing how important that is, and you have Cancer in your chart somewhere influencing you to be that for other people as well. In Libra season, it is about other people, you know, working to find the balance with others, the relationship aspect, the two or more, you know, it's not just self. Self is perfectly fine. Self-love adds to way better understanding of love in general, come to find out. So that's absolutely gorgeous. We're moving on to the category that has to do with your finances and your wealth, whatever you consider to be wealth. If it's not finances, you know, it is energy. Everything is energy. What are you believing? What are you bringing in? What are you manifesting? Because we manifest every moment. We are manifestors. And this is a very materialistic planet, 3D. It's beautiful. Why not? Why not want it? Why not want whatever you do want, and then wanting to share that with others is even an extra plus, right? On the karmic cycle, if you will. So, and I always have found Sagittarians to be extremely generous. So what you give, you will receive. Under the category of this, you have the 8 of Wands. Woo, baby. Okay. We're talking speed. We're talking action. We're talking the fastest energy, the fire sign that you are, the motivation, the spirit, the drive, the courage, the strength. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, leaders, you know, just like it's happening faster than you know. This love is happening faster than you know. Your healing is happening faster than you know. And it's absolutely beautiful. You're laying to rest any confusion or doubts, and you've got the most beautiful, guided, wonderful, you know, messages coming through. The birds represent messages. Look at the collaboration of, once again, spirit and animal life together, you know, the human spirit and the animal life together. These are exquisite. I love these cards. I'm really, really appreciating them. I'm going to do more readings with these, personal, private readings for sure. I feel good about this. Your money is going to be building, and you don't necessarily know. I mean, with this Jupiter in Aquarius turning direct again in on the 18th of October, this is especially good for you. This is amazing energy. And you already are a lucky person anyway, Sagittarius. You really, really are. You have some extra special magic in that regard with having Jupiter as your ruling planet. However, having said that, we want to be careful because Jupiter expands and grows everything. So you want to make sure you're not growing things you don't want to have grow, right? Like the waste or any habits or anything vices that are not necessary or needed in your life. Being smart, being balanced, okay? You represent the Temperance card in the Tarot, so that's about that very thing. And the alchemy of changing water to wine. So within, so without, you know, as above, so below. Believing in actually creating the best for you. And only the best. But you got some very important information coming through, I'll tell you that much right now. And it's going to be fast, as you are. You're a fast energy as well. But you're so much fun. And so, yeah, that's amazing. And the last category is surprises and wishes. And maybe this fast energy in regards to your money could be another person's money. Could be a part, you know, we have Venus in Scorpio right now. Scorpio is absolutely the 8th house. It's about life and death and definitely transformation of the deepest kind, you know, ruled by Pluto. Formerly Mars, which is the fire, you know, which you can relate to as a fire sign. And the passion and the desire to fulfill your dreams, make them real, you know, make them physically tangible, you know, and wow. So where am I going with that? Basically just that Scorpio is intense and it's amazing, and it's also about the depths of your ability to create and manifest and know and feel and just understand where it is you need to go. Okay, that's happening right now. That's magical. So wishes and ooh, baby. Okay. I've not gotten this. I'm loving this deck so much. First time I've seen this. Well, maybe except for when I was shuffling. I've never read anybody this message yet. And that says something very special. It's a major arcana. And it's the moon. And it is the ruling planet of Cancer. See, I mean, you know, Spirit always works so incredibly synchronistically in my readings. And I love and appreciate and thank Spirit every day and every moment for this and helping me with the readings and making it more congruent and special. But the moon is also letting you know that we have a new moon in Libra, like I said, on the 6th. There's so much power behind a new moon to create your intentions and your dreams and wishes. And it's also about not necessarily knowing the full picture. You know, maybe things are still hidden, but I don't think they will be for long. You know, the full moon I'm sorry, I don't remember the date, but it'll be the latter part of October, and it's going to be in Aries. The fire sign, your fire sign, you know, truth, leadership, power, you know, courage, strength. They don't know any different. They're the first sign of the zodiac, so they're always first. It's me, you know, it's about them, but the balance of Libra and the season of Libra, where it's like, it's got to be both of us, you know, it's got to be compromise. And that's happening. It's happening a lot more in the world. It truly is. But this is powerful, and this is intuition. It's your best, it's your highest, realm. It is leveling up that. So, and the messages that there come through, there's the crow. The crow is the loudest bird because it has a lot to say, and it definitely has messages to share. So there's information coming through, and it's powerful, and it looks as though it'll be quick, it'll involve love, relationships for sure, the healing we spoke about, unbelievable opportunities, whatever it is you're really planning and wanting. Keep that arrow straight, keep it forward, keep it aimed where you want it to be. Okay, that's a beautiful surprise, perhaps, maybe not, but wishes actually do come true. Wonderful reading. A lot of optimistic energy there for you. And the energy of water is very prevalent, so something's important about that. Even if it's just being in tune, like I said, with your own divine guidance and higher power, which is everything, right? We need that. That's our compass. So I'm going to finish with the two oracle messages. And this is definitely one of my favorite oracles as well, the Starseed Oracle. It's bringing information and guidance and upliftment and absolute love. A message that's important for you and you alone. That could have very much to do with your relationships, but we'll see. For the first half of October. I hope that you're enjoying the reading. If you do, just do me a big favor and just push that like button, or follow me by subscribing, and share and do all the wonderful things to help me build this channel, because I love working and doing this for you, and it's so important and means so much when you do that gesture of supporting me by doing a thumbs up. The 7 Star Sisters. Wow, birthing creations, tapestry of life and expression. It's that time, we all have this ability, and it's when we have the special influences of the planets, which we always have, working in our favor and pushing us and supporting us, it's so important to take hold of that. Look at this beautiful picture. 7 is a beautiful magical number in a lot of ways, and it's also working through our difficulties and our worries and concerns. It's so many things. It's the 7th house, which is Libra. It is that time, and we are in that season, and that is about relationships of all kinds, and correcting and healing and advancing and beginning. Could be a lot of you out there that are about to start a huge, amazing, transformative relationship. I mean, it's in the stars. So I'm going to read to you what it says, though, because it looks phenomenal. And the 7 Star Sisters. There are new creations that want to be born, beauty that's yearning to be woven, new consciousness that's longing to be breathed into life. If you draw this card, you're being called to surrender to these creations, to usher in a new era. And that's what I said, a big part of it. Yes, it's love, but it's so much about creation. And the moon is about creation, and the new moon is about creation. So it's all absolutely perfect. So let's see here. Okay. To usher in a new era of consciousness and do your own bit of weaving, and do your bit in weaving the web of life. This is the card of the artistic and the midwife. You're being called to ponder questions. What wants to be birthed through you? What new creations are happening in your ear, or whispering in your ear? What beauty are you being called to make? Creativity and intuition come from the same sacred place. They occur when we find ourselves flowing with the rest of the world. With the rest of the world. Earth is renowned as a planet of manifestation and creativity, and yet so many of us have forgotten how to create. Somewhere along the way, we stopped seeing ourselves as artists, as creatives, as poets. Yet to be human is to be creative. Creative is a part of your true nature, and you don't have to be an artist. My gosh, everything we do is creating. Everything. Perhaps you're being called to surrender to a creative project, such as a new business or a book. Or perhaps you're being called to weave beauty in your home or in the way you cook. Regardless of the end result, you're going to be called to express yourself through your creativity. To surrender to the creative projects that both scare and excite you. To find a way to weave beauty back into everyday life, For where there's creativity, spirit, and soul are present. And the world needs these qualities more now than ever before. And I completely concur with that. So I absolutely love this. And I hope you're resonating at this very moment. I hope it means exactly what it means to you. And if not, I hope it's coming just around the corner quickly. And, you know, just believe. I mean, just absolutely believe. Phenomenal. So the final message is the Oracle of the Super Attractor Manifestation deck, my OG deck. Manifesting exactly what you want because you feel it into existence. The feel good aspect of law of attraction. You know, Abraham Hicks speaks volumes and volumes on this, and it's just the right way to think. It's the right way to feel. It brings in amazing, magical results. So for you, in ending your reading, when I cultivate a spiritual connection, and this is green for the heart and passion and love, I can trust the universe no matter what. Once again, when I cultivate a spiritual connection, I can trust the universe no matter what, because there's that connection, and it's always there, whether you're intentionally wanting to be a part of it or not. But when you do, it's just that much more miraculous. There are the stars, there are the dreams, there are the Aquarian energies. You know, the star represents the Aquarius energy and Jupiter, and it's all good stuff. I don't know what else to say. You'll get to the retrograde, you'll have this beautiful influence and, you know, inspiration for the new moon. And there's just all sorts of wonderful things happening through the end of the year. So hang tight, be patient, you know, rest, review. And I'd love to see you or have you back here for the second half of the month, because I'll be here for you. Thank you for your time. Go and do your beautiful stuff, okay? Until next time, take great care, and bye for now.